Trump criticizes NASA's promotion of returning to the moon. He directed it 18 months ago. President Trump on Friday criticized NASA for promoting its plan to return to the moon before human exploration of Mars, a strategy that Trump endorsed in a directive early in this tenure and championed as recently as last month. For all the money we are spending, NASA should not be talking about going to the moon. We did that 50 years ago. Trump said on Twitter, they should be focused on as much bigger things we are doing, including Mars, of which the moon is part, defense and science. For all the money we are spending, NASA should not be talking about going to the moon. We did that 50 years ago. They should be focused on much bigger things we are doing, including Mars, of which the moon is a part, defense and science. Donald J. Trump tweeted. The tweet sent from Air Force One as Trump returned from a trip to Europe did not make clear whether he thinks the strategy should be entirely abandoned or whether he was more concerned about that NASA was branding the strategy. A White House official sought to downplay any difference between the Trump and had tweeted an existing policy. Our administration's goal has always been to get onto the Mars, said the official, who was not authorized to speak publicly and requested anonymity in an email. We have asked Congress for additional resources to get to the moon by 2024, which will enable us to get to Mars roughly a decade after creating a sustainable presence on the lunar surface. Under POTUS, America is leading again in space. A tweet later Friday by NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine did little to clarify the impact of Trump's tweet. As at POTUS said at NASA is using the moon to send humans to Mars. The tweet said, right now at Mars Curiosity and at NASA Insider on Mars and will soon be joined by Mars 2020 rover and Mars helicopter. Trump tweet was sent shortly after Fox Business host Neil Cavuto questioned on air why NASA is refocusing on the moon. The next sort of question, if you will, ask, but didn't we do this moon thing quite a few decades ago? The policy of us going back to the moon grew from an anonymous recommendation by a new National Space Council chaired by the Vice President Pence after his first meeting on October 2017. At the ceremony where Trump signed a directive regarding the policy 2 months later, he said first returning to the moon would establish a foundation for an eventual mission to Mars and perhaps someday the many worlds beyond. In a tweet 3 weeks ago, Trump quoted his administration's commitment to space exploration written, under my administration, we are restoring NASA to greatness and we are going back to the moon then Mars. In a Fury speech in March, Pence announced that NASA was moving in its timeline for landing humans back on the moon up 4 years to 2024. He cast the mission as part of a new space race against superpowers such as Russia and China, which landed a spacecraft on the far side of the moon earlier this year. In public documents, NASA has argued that exploration of the moon and Mars is intertwined. The moon provides an opportunity to test new tools, instruments and equipment that could be used on Mars, including human habitats, life support systems and technologies and practices that would help us build self-sustaining outposts away from Earth, the agency says in one document available on its website.